In today's session, we will talk about very important topic, that is conditional statements and loops. So first we cover if as part, next we cover elif with some important case studies. Next we cover loops, and in loops first we cover for loop, and next we cover while loop. Okay, next we cover very important topic, that is break keyword, continue keyword and pass. Okay, so let me start the session with the basic of conditional statements. So first I take one small program, and if I write true if true print print hello world. Okay, and as I want to write print wait. Now guess what is the output? Because as we know that if block is always work for true. Okay, and here the condition is true, so output is hello world. Okay, next what happens if we replace true with false? So we know that if block is always work for true and as for false. In this case the condition is false. Okay, because directly I take false, so here the output is wait. Okay, so it perfectly worked. Now we move to the next case, and if we replace false with 0.002, so here I replace boolean with the floating point number. Now guess what is the output? So first you pause the video and think what is the output. So here the output is hello world. Now the question is, sir, how output is hello world? Because if block is always work for true and false. Okay, and here you pass floating point number, so why will not get any error? Okay, so if you are good with the typecasting concept, then you can easily understand this topic. Okay, because if we typecast any non-zero number means except 0. Okay, if you take any of the number, if I take minus 23.999, so this is non-zero number. Okay, and non-zero number is always considered as true. Okay, means that if you typecast any non-zero number into the boolean format, so it is always considered as true. Only 0 considered as false. Means that if I write print and here I typecast 0, so 0 is considered as false. Except 0, any number will be treated as true. Okay, so that is the concept of typecasting, and in this case, now we understand this case, because here you write 0.002, so behind the case it will typecast that floating point number into boolean form, because if understand only boolean values, that is true and false. Okay, so it typecasts that floating point number into the boolean format, and 0.002 is considered as true, and that is the reason the output is hello world. Okay, but what happens if we replace 0.002 with 0.00? Again pause the video and think. So as I already told you, except 0 everything is considered as true, only 0 is considered as false. So here 0 is considered as false, so definitely output is wait. So it's perfectly work. Okay, now we move to the next case. What happens if we take empty string? Okay, means that in double quote I take empty string. Okay, so that is completely empty. Okay, so what happened? Again output is wait. Now what happened again? So if you typecast empty string into boolean, so it is considered as false. See, it is considered as false. And non-empty string means that if you take any single space also, so that is non-empty string, and non-empty string will be treated as true. Okay, so again we move to the same case. In this case we will take an empty string, and empty string is considered as false, and that is the reason we will get false. We will get wait as an output. Okay, so again check the output is wait. And what happen if we take non-empty string? So here it again press space. So if you use space, so that is considered as non-empty string. Okay, so again if we run the program, so here the output is hello world. Again, check the output. Output is hello world. Okay, so empty string is considered as false and non-empty string is considered as true. Okay, so these are the small cases that I want to discuss so that you become more clear with the if and else part. Okay, now we move to some small program on conditional statement, so you will get some good clarity with the concept. Okay, so what we do, we have to take age and marks from user, and if age is greater than 18 and marks is greater than 75, then he or she is eligible for the exam, otherwise they are not eligible. Okay, we want to print you are not eligible. Okay, so first we want two values. First is age, and age is in integer format again. So we want to typecast because we know that input function always take data in a string form. So with the help of int function, with the help of int, we can typecast that string value to the integer form. Next we want marks. Next we want marks, and again we want marks in not in integer format. We want marks in a floating point form. So we have to convert that into float. Okay, that's perfectly work. Okay, it's perfectly good. Now, now we want to write if age is greater than 18, and with the help of logical operator, that is and, we want to write age is less than equal to system. That is perfectly good. And if age is greater than 18 and marks, if age is greater than 18 and marks is greater than equal to 50, or it is greater than 75. If these two conditions satisfy, then we want to print you are eligible. You are eligible. You are eligible. Otherwise, I want to print you are not eligible. You are not eligible. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, I want to print you are not eligible. Okay. And if you're in the program, what is your age? So my age is like 33, and my marks is like 89. So you are eligible. And what happen if we take, if age is only 15 and marks is 99, you are not eligible. So it perfectly works. So it is a perfect example if you want to understand if and as block. Okay, now we take one more example so that you get better understand about if, as, and elif. Okay, so if you want to take a screenshot, so please take it. Otherwise, we move to next program. Okay. So in next program, we have to take one number from the user and we have to check that number is positive, negative, or zero. Okay. This is a very basic program. So first we have to take one number from the user. So for that, first we take one reference with the name num, and with the help of input function, we have to take one number. Okay, enter one number, and we know that again input function always return value in string form, and we want to convert that string value into integer form. So with the help of int, we can convert into integer. Okay, so it will convert into integer form. Okay, now if we want to check if that number is greater than 0, if that number is greater than 0, then we want to print that number is positive. And if we want to check if number is less than 0, then we want to print that number is negative. Otherwise we want to print as we want to print that number is 0. It perfectly works. Okay, this is a very basic program. And if we take any of the number, like if we take like minus 56, so that is negative number. So 56 is a negative number. And what happen if we take like 78 is a positive number. And what happen if we take 0? So 0 is 0. So it's perfectly work. Okay, so this is a small program, but you can get better clarity about Aleph part. Okay, and for more clarity we will take one more example. Okay, so if you want to take a screenshot, so please take it. Otherwise we will move to the next program. Okay. Now we want to enter the score. Okay, we want a score from the user, and according to score, we want to give him grade. Okay, like A grade, B grade, C grade, like that. Okay. So first we want the score. So we want a score, and we always want a score in integer form. So here I write integer or float form as your choice. And with the help of input function, we have to write enter your score. And now we want to check if score is greater than 90, then we want to print, your score is no, we want to print grade grade A. Yeah, A grade A. If score is Aleph, if score is greater than 75, if greater than equal to 75, then we want to print grade B. Aleph, Aleph, we want to print if score is greater than 50, then we want to print it is grade C. And as score is greater than equal to 35, if this condition satisfies, okay, if score is greater than equal to 35, then we want to print grade D. Okay, so that is actually Aleph. It's not F. That is Aleph. It's not as part. And otherwise, we want to print fail. We want to print directly fail. So that is one more example, a perfect example that will give you more clarity about if Aleph part. Okay, so if we again run the program, and if my score is only 25, then output is fail. And what happens if we write like my percent is 99, then great, it perfectly works. So this is a perfect example to get better understand about if, Aleph and as part. Okay, now we move to, if you want to take a screenshot, so please take it, otherwise we will move to next topic, that is loops. Okay, so first we talk about a for loop. So what we do, we will take one list. Okay, take one list, and in this list we'll take some data like we have to take one names of students, a name of students like Rahul, then we take Vinay, Vinay, and Amit, Ajay, and Vijay, and so on if you want. Okay, so here we take some name of student as a list, 1 2 3 4 5. So we take 5 name. Okay, and we want to print it only. Okay, I want to iterate one value and I want to print it. So is it possible to say it is possible with the help of for loop? For loop will make what as more easier. So here I write for data in list, and I want to print data. So it will print all the data from the list. So that is the beauty of the for loop. And if you want, so here it print only the name. If you want characters, so that is also possible. So that is also possible. So for that you have to write again for C or any of the character like ch, for ch in data, and here I want to print ch. So it will give you each character from name. Okay. So again, if we run the program, check it, Rahul, then again next loop will iterate one characters from the string, and it will print then RAHUL, then again Vinay. It perfectly works. So this is a perfect example for better understand the for loop. Okay, so that is for loop. So for loop is very smart. It will make your task easier, means that if you want to iterate values, then with the help of for loop you can easily iterate. Okay, now we move to next part, that is while loop. Okay, so in while loop, to understand the while loop, we have to take one example in which we have to make one small candy machine. Okay, so suppose that one kid go to candy machine and they ask for some candies. Okay, so first we want to print. First we want to ask, okay, how many candies you want. Okay, so with the help of input function, we have to ask how many candies you want. How many candies you want? How many candies you want? Okay, then okay, let us suppose if student, if that kid, that small kid say, I want 50 candies. Okay, so we have to give 50 candies. Okay, so for that, first we take one more reference with I, and here I initialize I with 1. Okay, now with the help of while loop, if I write while I is less than equal to candy, I want to print candy, candy, and comma, I also print I also, and then again we increase the value of I with 1. Okay, okay, now if we run the program, how many candies you want, and if I say I want 10 candies, if I hit enter, okay, so it will give an error not supported between instance of int and string. Okay, the problem is, as we know that input function always take data in a string form, so first we have to convert into integer form, otherwise we will get compile time error. And again we run the program, how many candies you want, and I want only 10 candies, and if we hit enter, so it will give me 10 candies. It perfectly works. But what happens if that kid want 1000 candies? So that is not possible because our machine have only 50 candies. Okay, because every machine have fixed quantity of candies. Okay, so how it is possible if any kid say I want 1 lakh candies? Okay, so that is not possible to give 1 lakh candies. Okay, if machine have 1000 candies, then it will give 1000 candies, and after that it will print out of stock. Okay, so same thing we want here. Okay, so for that, so first we fix number of candies. So of candy number of candy, so here the number of candy is fixed. Okay, so here I put 50. Our machine have only 50 candies. Okay, and if that kid say I want 55 candies, so our machine will give 50 candies, and after that we want to print out of stock. Okay, so for that we have to write one more condition. If I is equal number of candies, if this condition satisfy, then we want to print out of stock, and we want to print out of stock, and we have to terminate that loop with the help of break keyword. So break keyword is used to terminate the loop. Okay, so again if we run the program and we see that it work or not. So how many candies you want, and if I say I want 55 candies, and if I hit press enter, okay, so it perfectly work, but we will get one issue. We will get only 49 candies. The problem is that okay, so if here I write if I is greater than, if I is greater than number of candies, then we want to print out of stock. How many candies you want? I want 55 candies, and if I hit enter, now it's perfectly work. We'll get 50 candies, and after that it will print out of stocks. So it is a perfect example of break keyword and while loop. Okay, so if you want to make it more perfect, then it is possible. Then it's up to you. You can make it more perfect. Okay, but this is a perfect example for understand the while loop and the break keyword. If you want to take a screenshot, so please take it. Otherwise, we will move to next topic, that is continue. Okay, okay. So next is continue keyword. So for get more clarity for continue keyword, we have to take one list. Okay, and in this that list we have to take some numbers. Okay, 12, 13, 15, 67, 89, 90, 78, 99. Okay, so we have to take some random numbers, and we want to print only even numbers. Okay, in place we have to iterate one on values, and we have to print only even numbers, and for uh, odd values we want to skip that values. Okay, for odd we want to print nothing. Okay, so okay, so first we have to iterate one on value. So for that we have to use for loop. So for I in list. Okay, in place of I, if you want to take anything as, so that is also possible. So here it in data. So for data in list, okay, and I want to check, it will fetch one data. Okay, and if data is great, if data mod to equal 0, means that if it is even, then I want to print it, then I want to print that data. Otherwise, if that condition not satisfied, means that if that number is odd, so I want to continue the loop. Okay, I want to continue the loop, I want to skip that number and again continue the loop. Okay, so if I run that program, then it will print only the even numbers. For odd number, it will skip and continue the loop. Okay, so continue is continue keyword is used to continue the loop. Okay, if you want to continue, so for that you have to use continue keyword. Okay, so this is a perfect example for continue keyword. Okay, now we move to next keyword, that is pass. Okay, so for that, for example, if you want to make one function with the name, okay, check. Okay, and currently you have nothing, means that you want to write that code in future. Okay, you want to write that code in future. So what happened, if we run that program, then see what happens. We'll definitely get some error. We will get some indentation error expected, and indented block after function definition on line 1. Okay, so that is actually the problem. But we will fix this error with pass keyword. So if we write pass, and again if we run the program, that perfectly work. So that is the beauty of pass. Okay, means that we can write the code in future. If you want to write the code in future, you have nothing, so you can easily write pass. Okay, so it will not give you any of the error. So that is the use of pass keyword. Okay, so that's all of my today's session. Thank you so much.